For every retailer, Christmas is a really important time of the year, and the retailer I've been working with a while said to me, can we look at last year's sales? And so I can understand and use insights from those to help me prepare for this year's Christmas. And when we did that, we went through an exercise together, and I got this really great feedback from Cycle Chic saying how useful the service was and how it helped to go through all what worked last time and think about the strategic side of it. So what I'm going to do, rather than leaving you with this quote, is actually talk about what I did, how we did it, and where we got there. So in terms of where we were going to go to, they wanted to get to something really clear. I'm going to show you what the end goal is first by flipping onto the next slide. So the next slide were all these kind of examples, goals and metrics we used. So we looked at different factors, Christmas sales, set up a goal, for example, achieving 95% of the Christmas revenue from last year, set one up for Black Friday, talked about the stock levels you wanted to keep, the refund rates, how many existing customers you want to attract, and then the advertising spend. So we had a load of different metrics that came out at the end of the process, and that's what we used to do. We set them up, and then we managed to measure them in the live environment to understand how close or how far we're going to end up at the end of Christmas. Obviously, with something like the refund rate, we measure the refund rate at the point when the items are bought rather than when they're refunded. So we had to wait until later in January to get that one. But by monitoring it early in real time, we could see where we were going to go to. I'm going to show you the dashboard now, because this has got the information on it that we actually use to create the calculations. So if you've seen this dashboard before, you'll know where I am, but basically this is a dashboard set up. This is a demo data one with all the demo information. We set up one particularly for the Christmas sales period. We picked the start of November in 2021 to the 22nd of December, which is the last postage date. And this information at the moment is a high level, so you've got all the brands together, we've got all the product categories, and then whether they're a new or returning customer. But if we specifically wanted to look at one of those factors, we would do that. So within this Christmas sales panel, we've set up what we want to see and think it's important. This can also be exported as a PDF. You can have it as a separate document, or you can schedule the emailing on it. But at the end of the period, you knew what the total revenue was, the number of orders, the refund rate we'd had, and then the sales by primary category. You could also see what the daily revenue was, the number of products per order, how the refund rates varied by date. And interesting, actually, Black Friday was around this period here, but the refund rates were higher there. How the average revenue grew, and in fact it grew strongly over December, where the daily sales came in, what the primary categories were, what brand it was, the most popular product. Unfortunately, this is empty, just it's a demo set, where the revenue came from by period, how many new recurring customers there were, where the customers were distributed, any discount coupons that were used, and how many new customers were added, what margins were there for the different products. Because obviously if we're selling everything at 40% margin, it's not as good as 60% margin. And then we could go down to the trends and track individual sales. So to actually answer this piece, we made use of all that data there. We started by looking back in 2021, and we aligned this against what had happened in the business. The advertising budgets being put against Google Ads and other forms of advertising, the Black Friday promotion, what discount was applied, what new products were launched, what was popular over the season. Once we'd run these reports, we looked at the revenue, the products and the customers in detail. We then produced a briefing note, and as well as looking at the results, we got external predictions of sales. I looked at all the economic outlooks. The ones I tend to use are the British Retail Council, the Office of National Statistics, and the IMRG are very good. We then agreed goals and targets with the client and then measured them, which is how we ended up where we were. And the client was absolutely delighted with the performance of that. So I hope this gives you a flavour of what you can do. What we did then was then we repeated this. So we ran it overall for the whole period. And then we also ran it for the Black Friday period specifically, so we could understand the Black Friday sales and how they were different from what was going on in the overall period. And then we could isolate that effect out and then have the two comparisons side by side. If you want more information, we've got more videos on YouTube, or you can get in touch with us via LinkedIn or email.